Howdy, kids. Um, now what would I address today? Well, a good day to you. Started out with a nice little gray morning. It seemed like as the sunrise there was coming up, and well, I've been seeing lots of blue skies up there and good fortune clouds. It's a beautiful sky. It's a beautiful day. Um, it does feel as though something actually that like we've reached another one of those points where there's been some type of um, change actualized, so it's actually notable. But yet still, I'm unable to quantify it exactly. I will say, we have been continuing on as we were planning and as what our goal has been. And they were talking about, I think, about how some of them, were still trying to, mess with us or get a reaction out of us and spy on us and all this kind of stuff. And of course, I have no idea why, why they'd make anything personal, since, of course, there's been no personal interaction between us in physical, like normal people, for at least good 20 years, right? Something like that, it's close to it. And not a meaningful conversation in the last couple decades. Not really anything. Um, so well, again, it's just I do believe we've established. It's just the problem is the difference between night and day. I'm day and they're not. So that's why I'm going to keep on going my way, which is the way of the day. Now, without the other, because that's the way I'm made. Without the other, because I'm just day. And that's why, when people talk about, they can't stand your happiness and stuff, it's like, um, I know the offer does close to people after a certain stage is reached. And I don't know what they have to go through to come back to a place where they're, how do you call it, qualified to enter into a place that is of light and for the kingdom of light and life. But, hey, if they can go through whatever they have to go through and walk the path they have to walk and end up, show up without any hate in their heart for us and not a harm or even a potential harm, then I guess everything will be all right. It crossed my mind again, these people with their manipulations. And I've seen a myriad of manipulations over a lifetime, but especially the last couple decades. And it's just so many different stories that they've used that no story has any validity. But I can see where they're trying to play upon, several different chords they would try to play upon. But the simple fact of the matter is that they've demonstrated again and again and again and again this fact that they're not a team to us, but more like, this other thing. That is, the enemy's gotten a hold of you and it's in your house. Oh, no. So, no, we have to leave that behind. And if there is something that we can do for any of these people that we've known in that supposed life that we experience, quote unquote, I'm sure that we will once we're at a safe distance and everything's, settled down and we know where we're at and what we're doing. and, and then, we might be able to talk. But again, we're going to just keep on going the way we're going. The day. I'm just the day, surrounded by the day here in my daylight. And we're just not receiving anything of anything else, not today. That's what they've been doing with us. And that's how we're being made. Because we have work to do that doesn't involve all of this weird drama and misuse and abuse and all that stuff. So, again, no hatred in our heart for anybody or anything. And if anyone from anywhere says, that they, or thinks that they need to have a conversation, anytime I'm out, there I am. And it can be like, hey, Tom, how's it going? Remember me? Go ahead. If you have something real to say, that's great. If you're going to just come and talk around about and sort of towards, but not ever actually of what the deal is, there's no purpose. I don't know why people would think that they could just keep this weird thing going on where they insinuate stuff and expect me to infer blah blah blah. Again, never a conversation. Hold on. Nor I really don't doubt. I mean, I don't. I don't really believe there is a conversation to be had. Truthfully, I think that if a conversation even began that was open and honest, the very first thing that would happen is after their speech would be questions, and those I don't believe. I think there's even a song that says, "Don't ask me any questions." I mean, don't expect any answers, or just not. So, yeah, we're going to keep on going the way of the day, without the other. Thank God Almighty, and of course, again, in the name of the Prince of Peace. I've seen where I could chalk it up to being April Fool's Day, right? But I did see again mention of people waiting on us to show up so they can say hey, and we can get to know each other, and I can be benefited and aided in my ascension to the proper position. Which, I mean, I know that's happening, dimensionally speaking anyway, but still there's other things I think we have to accomplish. But so we're going to continue on with that, leveling up. We're going to continue advancing and level up again, because they were telling us about this level up that we're doing is going to be one of those things where it's like, okay, well, and we can just dust our hands off and say that's the end of those problems, and we can get on to the business of the day, taking care of some things. And I'm sort of encouraged by this story that I've been seeing more recently. It looks like things are starting to shift back into place where it's supposed to be. I guess that's what you'd call the pendulum beginning to swing back into the other direction. Where it's all going to go and how far the pendulum swings in the other direction, I don't know. Truthfully, I know that some of that can be mitigated, but what I do know is this: as long as I'm in it, right, I would prefer to have things a certain way for myself and those that are mine, those that are they. And I think it's best to have things a certain way like that because it's just better for everyone. So I know that that's what's happening. Things are just starting to go back the other way. But again, like I was saying, when I leave here, I expect to be sort of traveling through a couple different gated places that'll take me into some place where I will find a world that is, of course, very similar to what I see on the TV, etc. But it won't have any hate. There won't be any hate around me for a great, long, wide area, giant distance, because I have no hate in me. I'm not a friend to anger. So the world that should form around me would be one without anger and one that is extremely influenced by the light, which we all know is what his burden was. He said his burden was light, and it does take some getting used to. And but again, I'm telling you, the only thing that would just make me go no, please no, is just the thought of the light leaving me. And they say the light is Christ. Well, then, yay, the Prince of Peace lives with me. Yay! It's wonderful. And I'm so very happy about that. I've tried again and again and again to make people understand, look, it's not personal. But once you taste it, then you know where you're going and what you're doing. And you can't, I kind of think, what they were looking for was someone to help them stay in that zone where you're not advancing up into it, but you're still not falling down into the other. Because you've got to anchor a hook, a grappling hook, attached to something that's supposed to be rising, Like you've thrown a grappling hook onto a blimp or something that's rising. Well, that can't work out. That's why I kept on talking about it. It's like at some point those grappling hooks will disintegrate all on their own. So do something else. So I hope it. Like I say, once I get up there and I more in being who I am, what I'm supposed to be, there's all kinds of things that might be able to be worked out. I don't know what. I know the limitations are going to be few. So we'll be creative, I bet. Again, thanks to all of you who pray for me and are helping me. We had a little bit of a thing we were doing yesterday, and I guess maybe this morning or afternoon. And then we're going to be all like earnest, and get on to the stick, so to speak, which is, I guess, a flying analogy, isn't it? Metaphor, or what's that? A figure of speech. So, and with our voice, man, I am. I will say this. Even though I was missing all that big booming resonance that I was sporting for a while there, I found also that it seemed a lot more natural to sing again. So I'm sure we'll probably gain more of the boomy again. Uh, yeah, it seems okay. Things are getting better, I believe. They did talk about these people that seem to be obsessed or something, and yesterday, I wasn't really picking up. I mean, I was more sensing in the knowing way that, oh, that's hostile. They're hostile. Uh, than picking up any actual sensation of a different energy. Um, there was one that was very obvious yesterday, who made a point to pull out onto the highway, well, it's a state route, and go 20 miles an hour at best. It's like it's like they were doing like half the speed limit or something, and it was on purpose, and I knew what they were doing, and I do believe that it was as it was predicted, that they were still trying magic, still trying to do energy transference, which what heaven is doing is just basically closing the doors between me and all those that are like that. And so we're not in the receiving mode anymore. We're closed. And so even though we had to suffer behind these people for a moment or two, we didn't actually suffer. And although I did pick up on a couple things here and there, it felt almost as if the stuff was flowing around over or something like that. Like I was going through, well, something that was there, but wasn't anything really at all. And certainly wasn't going to be with me or stay with me. So I'm very happy with the fact that we're not experiencing so much of what we had been experiencing. That things, the conditions continue to improve, and that we continue to ascend. And I'm very happy with the upgrades, and the upgrades coming. And I am thankful for that very much. God bless all the white people. And praise heaven. Praise all them of heaven. Praise the people of the sky. Praise the God people. Praise all who love me. That's what I say. And that's going to be kind of white. You know, it's like I was listening to one of them the other day, and I don't know why, but I'm real why any of them use filters, those beauty filters, especially whenever it makes it look so unreal. But, well, I digress, don't I? It doesn't matter. But they were talking about all the ensuing fame or whatever, and um, and again, truthfully, I believe it will work out more than likely into this and into that too. um, Figuratively speaking, but um, how it begins, I'm not exactly sure how that's going to happen exactly, but I'm guessing those that are in the know and in charge of the progression of the movie know exactly how to get it started, and of course, once it is started, then it's pretty much easy for branching to occur, right? That's right. And who knows? Maybe we'll be able to fix things for other people who are stuck in the wrong position and stuff like that, like apparently we were doing before. Passively, I guess, uh, but anyway, thanks again, and I'm praying for all of you who are helping, and I thank you so very much. Have a wonderful day today.